Today, we're going to learn how to trade dips and, of course, how to predict them. So stay tuned for more of that. Hello there, everyone. I hope you're having a beautiful, beautiful day. So for me, it has been a beautiful, beautiful day. For everyone who has watched the market outlook video, either on our Dutch channel or on our international channel, they're also having a beautiful, beautiful day, right? Because we've been calling this exact high right here. My exact prediction was 66,460. And I was talking about how we had that rejection, how I opened a short on Ethereum. My short unfortunately got stopped out and then we dropped for a massive, massive potential gain. But yeah, in my hindsight account, I'm already a billionaire, so I never tend to put too much attention on those moments, basically. So right now, what I want to show to you guys is a strategy that I always use when a huge dip has happened, right? So normally people, they get confused, right? So you get a big, big sell off to the downside, then you always have that buying wick, right? And then people just don't know what to do. Basically, you missed the actual dip. People buy out of FOMO. And then, yeah, they're basically just setting themselves up for either a poor entry or just a further continuation towards the downside or just not. Basically, it's not an ideal situation to be in. So that's why I want to discuss some strategies with you guys today, sharing this content for you guys so you can also learn how to trade a dip in a great way. So one thing that you need to realize, when there is a dip, a range will always form. So basically, whenever you see a huge sell-off, like so, you see the sell-off, and then you see how they, let's just replay this for a little bit, yeah? So basically, you see the sell-off, then you see the initial buyback, right? Especially with a large candle in a lower time frame like this. So if you really, really are accelerating that push towards the downside, like we did as in here, where you're just basically giving 5-6% in a 15-minute candle, basically what you're starting to have is people are buying these dips out of FOMO, right? So now watch what happens, right? Basically, the dip gets bought up and then a range starts to form, right? You start to move sideways. And when you start to move sideways, opportunities are there for the taking, right? So I never buy a range after a dip. I just don't do it. The reason why is because this is not an ideal opportunity for me to step into the markets. It's not an ideal opportunity for me to step into the markets because here was my ideal buying opportunity. This is basically a FOMO buy right here. And now you start to range. So when I buy this, I'm buying indecision. I'm not buying a probability that's in my favor. I'm just buying a guess, right? We can either break towards the upside without ever visiting the lows, which almost never happens, or we visit the lows and then we get continuation, or we visit the lows and then we break the lows and then we start to continue downward, right? In either way, I really don't want to set myself up for the failure of buying in here in the indecision. I always want to have probabilities stacked into my favor. I want the chance of something working for me and not against me. So that's why I won't buy a breakout here, because then you're basically just buying the highs of the range, right? If this is your range and you're trying to trade in between these two targets, so from here to here, for example, right? This is your box, this is the way you're trading. Then if you are buying the breakout of the range, you're basically buying the high of the range, which you're supposed to short if you're a experienced trader, right? So watch what happens. You get the breakout, then you get basically a fake out, because we want to visit those lows again, right? That's how you want to trade a range. So what I tend to do is I use fixed range volume profile. You can find it right over here in TradingView. And this basically shows you where the largest amount of volume has been traded in a range. Now, this information now shows me a value area high, a value area low, and then I can use these to my advantage, right? I want to generally short the value area high, buy at the value area low, or at least use these tools to my advantage when I start to make my decisions in the market. So I think Daniel from Chart Champions is very, very good at this. You should check him out on YouTube. He is a very, very talented trader. He has basically pioneered this way of trading with his community as well. So big shout out to Daniel from Chart Champions. So basically what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to line this Fibonacci retracement tool, because now I have areas where the probabilities are stacked into my favor. So the chance of something working for me has now significantly increased if I start to buy at these areas or if I start to sell at these value area highs. So if I miss the opportunity to scale out at this high, then I may consider selling a breakout right here if I am expecting the market to continue further towards the downside. So that is basically some simple strategy for you guys. And now we're just going to play it out in the live market outlook that we can just do right now. So basically we saw a continuation, and yeah, basically a huge sell-off. I sold most of my positions around 66,000 and around 62,000. So yeah, I was a little bit early during the weekend, but I also got this opportunity right here to scale out some more. I definitely did not eat this dip, and I definitely ate this dip right here, basically scaling into some of my positions again conservatively, because I do think we can go further towards the downside for a continuation. So right now I'm looking at hitting this and then creating a range, right? So in my opinion, right, we just saw this huge sell-off. We saw this happening right here, basically getting minus 4.6%. And then we saw a huge buying opportunity again, right? Plus 3.5%. In some altcoins, this is like 10-15% and 10% towards the upside again. But I'm just using Bitcoin as my main guidance right now. So what I'm expecting to happen right now is a range to form again, right? Because that's what we know. After a huge sell-off, usually a range starts to form. So what I've done now is I've bought a little bit here, then I've scaled a little bit out around this level here in my position in RUNE. That's how I'm actively trying to manage it. And basically, I am trying to predict where this range is going to be, right? So I know that somewhere in here a range starts to form. So I will start to mark these buying levels, right? I see a small demand area right here. I see a small demand area right here. And I'm also trying to use that volume fixed range volume profile again, just swiping it from here to here, see where the volume is located, see if we make a rejection. I'm now starting to use only this area, basically only the dip. And I'm just watching for more price action to form, because this is not really giving me a lot as of right now. If I'm using some more recent price action, then we can move towards this area right here, 60,831. And this is around the volume weighted average price level. So I'm basically looking to reject here, then start to form a range over here, then get either a fake out towards the upside and then a dip, or an instant dip that I can buy up, right? That's basically my strategy if I wouldn't have scaled into these lows. So always be patient, always have a strategy to trade these ranges, and just use replay mode to your advantage if you don't really know what you're doing yet, or you can just draw upon a chart. And learning how to master this will exponentially increase the growth of your portfolio in the long run, right? If you always know with each dip in crypto what to do, just imagine how well you could stack all your entries and how these percentages would add up over a year, 2 years, 3 years, or even a longer period of time. So this is truly a video that you should watch over and over again if you want to level up in your trading. Now, thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.